Joe Pinion on Newsmax says Greenland has no chance against Russia and China without the United States. That Trump has to buy Greenland for its own good. Yeah, it's the okay. This is the thing. So this is the thing. Okay, we have bigger fish to fry. It won't fucking happen. It's a bunch of nonsense. But I don't know what this fixation is, and I don't care because it's absurd.
In for Rob tonight. Well, deal or no deal? That is the question. After completing the greatest political comeback in the history of our nation, Donald J. Trump, the man who wrote The Art of the Deal, is a...
No, he didn't. Hi, stupid. He had a ghostwriter. Shut the fuck up. He had a ghostwriter. Quit it. Stop saying he wrote The Art of the Deal. He's never even read the goddamn thing.
To close the deal of a lifetime. Strategic control and influence over the largest island on our planet, Greenland. Now,
for purposes of national security and freedom, the U.S. feels that the ownership of Greenland is necessary. Do we? Is this what's keeping us up at night?
The political left has mocked the plan.
Yeah, it's not a plan. It's a concept of bullshit. But yeah, I will continue to mock it. You're a silly, silly person, and so is he.
Have all but dismissed the idea, and yet both the liberals at home and elites abroad seem oblivious to reality that President Trump has been keenly aware of since he began his pursuit of Greenland during his first term. The next world war will be fought over natural resources, over energy independence, and the...
Yeah, but we don't need fucking Greenland's oil. What are you talking about?
Theater for that war will not be far-flung places in Europe such as Omaha Beach or inaccessible regions such as the sands of Afghanistan. It will be fought right here in America's proverbial front yard, the Northern Arctic. And so if you view the world through that prism, a Greenland or bust plan for America First energy independence and strategic dominance starts to make a whole lot of sense.
Okay. Do you think because we're going to get oil from them, or you just think it's the bulwark against Russia coming over the top if the Arctic thaws?
In a world where failed American leadership has allowed the Chinese Communist Party to monopolize the rare earth minerals required to make...
No. Okay, again, all right, this is about rare earth minerals. Okay, shut the fuck up. First of all, Greenland is perfectly fine by themselves, and they're not going to be fucking seized by Russia. So piss off with this nonsense. Also, America has all the, quote, rare earth minerals we will ever need. Like, this is a fucking talking point from 10 years ago.
Every critical instrument of the 21st century, America's renewed interest in Greenland isn't just sensible, it should be non-negotiable. Especially when the same governing bodies in and around Greenland that mock President Trump's proposal have routinely entertained land lease and trade proposals with the Chinese Communist Party that not only threaten the security of the U.S. homeland, but give the Chinese Communist Party sanctioned access that's swiftly...
Wait, what the ever-loving shit? Okay, I suppose there's some sort of like Biden likes the Chinese nonsense that's going on here, which clearly, again, China's worst years since before they opened up, before Nixon, have happened under Joe Biden. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But also, China's not going to take Greenland. It's on the other side of, I mean, like if they're going to just take someplace for resources, they'll just take Africa in theory. That's what they've been trying to do.
Becoming the most valuable trading lanes in our hemisphere. There is a reason why Xi Jinping proposed building a...
Yeah, when was that? What's the date on that? I'll wait. Unveils vision of polar Silk Road across the Arctic. Yeah, over Russia. They were circumventing Russia. That was more of a slam on Russia than anybody else.
Polar Silk Road trading route through the Arctic corridor. And there is a reason why Russia, who has long made wild and reckless territorial
I don't know why I pushed the button to get this to play and it subscribed me to Newsmax and I had to unsubscribe really quick.
over territory in the Arctic and all the natural resources that go along with them have accelerated their efforts. Because a showdown is coming. And America has two choices: lead or get left behind.
Yeah, again, they're delivering what they have, not the other way around, stupid. It's not like they're taking these rare earth minerals from Greenland. Do you think we couldn't put just military bases on there and that'd be enough? Good Lord.
And whether we like it or not, the pursuit of a perch for self-determination in this particular arena, well, it goes directly through Greenland. And why? Well, it is simple. The ice is melting. That's not a...
That's right. Okay. Yeah. The ice is melting, and so Iceland will be green again, and Greenland will be less icy, and Iceland will be more green or something.
The new scam is just a cold, hard fact. And ironically,
well, less cold, I guess, and less hard.
What can only be viewed as a self-hating, suicidal obliviousness, the same people who won't stop...
What? Wait, what the fuck is this guy? Simmer. The idea that it's self-hating and suicidal for us to not seize Greenland and make it the 51st state, I guess? Is it the new Afghanistan? What the shit?
About the melting ice caps and the plight of the polar bears, ignore the fact that when the ice gets thinner, Russia and China no longer need to take the scenic route to their front door. Now they can wave at the port of Montreal or attempt to repurpose Ellis Island in just half the time. And so all of this presents a serious
warning to U.S. Navy on China. Bigger fleet almost always wins. Almost. Also, it helps if your ships are actually bigger and more functional as opposed to just the number of ships, because China calls every fishing boat a naval vessel because they can call them up at any time.
Particularly since under the watchful eye of one Joseph Robinette Biden, we have watched the Chinese Navy grow to eclipse the size of the United States Navy for the first time in modern history.
I love how this expert's warning to U.S. Navy on China, bigger fleet almost always wins. Also, and this is in 2023, but like experts warning to U.S. has that new study ring to it. You know what I mean?
This at the same time that Biden's failed after-the-fact sanctions of Russia put Putin's invasion of Ukraine did very little except driving the Kremlin directly...
Sorry, Biden's failed what?
Putin's invasion of Ukraine did very little except driving the Kremlin directly into the strategic arms of the Communist Party, with Russia now eclipsing Saudi Arabia as the leading importer of crude oil to China. And so here we...
Yeah, that's because Saudi Arabia is staying within the sanctions. Russia's like, China's avoiding the sanctions. They're just buying oil because they're going around the sanctions. They're not participating. They're not participants in the SWIFT system anymore, and so they don't care. They're evading sanctions because the European countries in the Middle East are... This is just dumb.
Our folks, with these two once dueling nations turned strategic allies, they are now conducting joint naval exercises in the South China Sea, but more importantly, in October of this year, conducting their first joint maritime patrol. Where? You guessed it. The Arctic. So yes, the prime...
Yeah, you mean where they've lost two ships and a sub, and where the Chinese dragged their ship across international communication lines?
Minister of Greenland can laugh and call Donald J. Trump's plan a joke. Denmark can turn their...
Hey, hold on. No. A joke has a punchline and structure, way more than Trump's plan does to annex Greenland, you silly person.
Nose up at Donald J. Trump's plan and say Greenland is not for sale. But it is laughable for them to believe than when Russia and China show up, knock on their front door, and say, we're taking your island of 58,000 people and the natural resources that come along with it, that they have a chance in hell without America's support. Donald J. Trump is...
Well, also, we would defend Greenland. We're just not buying the fucking place, you weirdo.
...in Greenland to come to the table and help codify peace on equitable financial terms. China will not ask, and Russia, for those keeping track at home, well, they are already proceeding at rapid pace, breakneck speed, without an invitation. So yes, it would be a legacy-defining deal.
Yeah, that's what he wants. Like Trump, you know, call it, you know, Trumpistan, the state of Greenland / Trumpistan.
Mr. Art of the deal, to put Greenland in America's column. But more importantly, it would be
Also, why would you have to claim it to put it in America's column? Why don't you just do a security agreement with them?
a nation-defining moment to take the steps required to shield ourselves from the prospect of the next Pearl Harbor, a 21st century Pearl Harbor.
Hold on. For it to be a Pearl Harbor, it has to be your country getting attacked. Arguably, if they're going to attack Greenland as part of this, and it's inevitable, by making it part of the United States, you're the one setting up the Pearl Harbor aspect. Pearl Harbor was a part of Hawaii. It's part of America.
See, there are many reasons.
Other countries being attacked by other... Why isn't Ukraine in a Pearl Harbor for America then?
The great wars of yesterday were not fought on U.S. soil. But the easiest factor to comprehend is clear. We have the greatest home field advantage of any prosperous nation in the modern history of the world. It is difficult to reach us, but it's getting easier. Russia has figured it out. China has figured it out.
Yeah, I guess they'd have to, what, march across Canada in the snow? The fuck? Just because the polar ice caps melt in your best case scenario doesn't mean the water suddenly gets warm and the weather gets balmy in northern Canada.
The past and future president of our great nation, Donald J. Trump, has figured it out. And those who claim they love freedom, they better stop fighting him and start helping him before the war we fought 2 wars to prevent comes to a town near you.
Yeah, we have to claim, we have to seize Greenland before Red Dawn 3, The Reckoning happens. Shit. I think, while the greater portion of this, if I will, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll leave you guys for the night and I will see you guys tomorrow. If there's anything I think we can take away, and thank you guys for the super chats as well. Michael, thank you so much, and Richard and Tim Apple, thank you. Al, I'm not feeling very merry this year. Mr. Stinky Pants gave everyone permission to say Merry Christmas, and it's driving me nuttier. Well, then see it for the happiest thing in the world. Be okay with Christmas, and hold them to the standard that goes with it, of behaving in a Christic way, not an Old Testament kind of way, and leave that burden of morality at their doorstep. That'll work. Don't let them harm you without, you have to give them permission to harm you in those kind of ways. So trust me on that. Okay, Richard, thank you so much as well. Muskrat already sniffs lines and lines of ketamine every day. What the fuck does you need Manjaro for? Well, that's the thing, is that ketamine isn't necessarily a weight loss drug the way cocaine is. Monica, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. And Larry, thank you so much. And Pam, the Facebook chat, thanks you. Oh, okay, appreciate that. Yeah, if you're on Facebook and you want to support the show, you're going to have to use Venmo or come over to YouTube every so often and drop me a super chat, because the stars thing has been intermittent and I don't know when they're going to turn it back on. And I think there's my guess is that Facebook's going to have a giant class action lawsuit in their future, where they are screwing with the underlying financial system that influencers can make money off of. and using the size of the network and the potential for money to keep people from balking because they're afraid of getting kicked off. And at some point, that'll have to end. Just saying. So until then, we'll see. But either way, hit that like, share the show. And I think, again, the overall story here is that this idea that they're going to get everything they want and they're just going to steamroll everybody and it's going to be easy and they're going to get support from the, you know, strange bedfellows like Cenk Uygur and the like, and that's going to help it work its way through the system is horseshit, and it gives them way too much credit, and it's by sweating about it, we are complying in advance. Don't comply in advance. Don't give them your heart and your fear, because quite frankly, you can look at how they're fighting with each other. Look at RFK and Musk fighting about this. Look at how Vivek has just spent the last week and a half alienating farmers and fucking sports fans in the United States. Like, Jesus Christ, oh God, everybody that he's considering for Doge considers the Midwest flyover states. Useless. All the things they say about like liberal elites on the coasts, everybody that's involved in Doge thinks that about the Midwest. Every fucking one of them. You got to keep that in mind. And there is a conflict that they are inexorably headed towards that is going to happen. And watch as it happens, because I mean it's already happening in a minor sense with Trump bitching about being called VP Trump and about how Musk is going to take over and stuff. That's all petty, smaller stuff. But wait till the rubber hits the road. Because, again, that's what Rand Paul's talking about, where he's like, they got to go through Congress if they want to change the budget for real, which means Doge has to convince Trump to yell at Republicans to make them do what he wants them to do. And the assumption that they're just gonna because they share the same party is ridiculous, because Doge doesn't need to get reelected. Republicans do. And again, the senators are even worse, because those are the guys that really hold the keys to the kingdom as far as money goes, and they've got 6-year terms. A bunch of them just got elected to terms that will be there after Trump leaves. The next round will be, they'll only have 2 years of Trump and 4 years of their own stuff. So they're not going to shoot their own fucking constituents in the foot, especially in red states who rely on more federal spending than blue states do. I'm telling you, they're like, never underestimate Donald Trump's ability to fuck up a free lunch. And on that note, love you guys. Sorry to keep you waiting and worrying. I apologize, but it's just the nature of doing the show on the road with family and stuff. You can see the basement ducting and I think that's an elliptical right there. And there's a ping pong table and a gun range down here. I am indeed in Ohio. And until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. Thank you guys so much. Much love, and I'll talk to you later.